But who are the ones attacking the shared vision of what makes the country? Who are the ones attacking the shared values? And that's why, again, going back to your point, and I truly mean this.
This is the long march to the institutions.
I like the fact that you want to be a we. I want to be a we.
Wouldn't that be great?
But when I look at our we institutions, you take something as simple as, this is a minute and a half of your time that we're going to say the darn national anthem, and you sing it, and you're going to be quiet. And for this minute and a half, whether you like it, don't like it, you think it's stupid, this minute and a half is not your minute. It's the national anthem's minute, and we're all going to shut the hell up. Just like at your wedding, when you were doing your vows, if I stood up and was like, I want to make a comment right now, people will be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is Jack and Tanya's wedding.
This is why we didn't invite Daniel, by the way.
You need to shut down. Exactly.
Almost.
This is not your time. The national anthem is not your. This belongs to the country. Shut the hell up. I want to protest. You got the whole world to protest, but this belongs to the shared values of the country. But you can't have it.
What do you do
now? Now it's destroyed. If this flag, you can't have it. This image can't have it. There are no more shared images because we are told that they are up for grabs.
Let me throw this out there as well.
They're all up for grabs.
To kind of put a pin on that is what you were saying earlier, Ian. What do you think would happen if you went to Afghanistan right now and tried to set a Taliban flag on fire?
You'd probably get gunned down.
What do you think would happen if you went out there and you saw, a Taliban Shura Council meeting, and you walked up and started protesting?
What do you think would happen? Hold on. What do you think would happen if, after the Taliban took over, you took the Afghan national flag and started carrying it through the streets? Oh, wait, that did happen.
That already happened.
People were brutally beaten.
Exactly.
What happens when you knock down a pride flag?
Go to jail.
The hate police in New York, I think it's in Queens, are the hate police is out because it's on camera. Someone knocked down a pride flag. You're not allowed to do that.
We have sporting events doing 2 national anthems now.
Why not 3?
I'm not into the symbolism thing. Like, if Xi Jinping commanded us to sing the national anthem, it wouldn't be
he will.
American pride.
He will.
Like,
not the American
don't
one.
step on my freedom.
It'll be.
You can't if Xi Jinping makes me say I love America, it doesn't mean I really love America.
No one's asking you to say you love America. They are asking for this one particular moment. This thing does not belong to you, and it is humbling for all of us and the collective values of this country to say, you know what, that's not mine. Just like those vows, that moment, your speech. You know what? It's Ian's birthday. Ding, ding, ding. And Ian wants to. No. I'm going to stop.
Well, and this is also.
This is one moment in time that does not belong to any individual. So no individual can usurp it.
Ian, there's got to be something that unites a community so that when it comes to conflict, they say we may disagree on X, Y, and Z, but because of the overarching umbrella, we are here for each other. America used to be, they would talk about diversity, the great melting pot. But American culture and values always superseded. So when people talk about multiculturalism, there's 2 definitions. The left definition, well, I should say the original view of multiculturalism was you can come and have Chinatown, you can have Ukrainian Village, Little Italy, Little Russia, whatever, but you followed the rules and the overarching culture of America. And you know what? People liked that. That's why they wanted to be here. But maybe they spoke Ukrainian and wanted to live by their relatives, but they still were free speech. They still were Second Amendment. They still wanted to, live in this great country. What started happening now is that multiculturalism has come to mean something different, that there are pockets that exist outside of Americans' values and cultures. When those start growing, a completely separate moral framework, there is nothing uniting 2 groups. You end up with 2 national anthems within the same space. And I'll tell you this, 2 objects cannot occupy the same space. So when you have people who are under an umbrella all saying, okay, I like skateboarding, you like BMX, and he likes snowboarding, but we're all Americans, we believe in free speech, and we like watching, Michael Jackson music videos or something. That unites us. We don't have that anymore. Now you have people who say all of your movies are racist and bad, and you're not allowed to like them anymore. We're going to sing a different national anthem. Okay, you have a completely different worldview, a completely different moral framework, and these things struggle to coexist with each other. That's the thing about the national anthem. I don't think it's necessarily that we force people to undergo it, but it's more a sign that when we come to a point where we cannot agree the national anthem is something that we'll listen to and like and we're proud of, that half the people are play a different one. Now in one arena, people are fighting a symbolic or ideological war. When they say they're going to do 2 national anthems.
Well, it's also, you think of it, right? Any sporting event is already 2 teams and 2 groups of fans that are there in opposition, right? They are there to I want to defeat you. You want to defeat me. Look, I'm from Philadelphia, so whenever we were playing, where the Giants were in town, it got pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like we literally had
I almost was attacked at a sports game.
Yeah, we literally had
Baltimore screaming for the Browns.
Yeah, exactly.
But Philly fans are the most awful people.
Philly
Eagles fans. No offense to Philadelphia, but
we're actually quite proud of it. We're actually quite proud of it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we would have. We had an actual trial
Holy
court.
cow.
We had an actual trial court that would sit at the stadium, right? Because there were so many fights that broke out that they didn't even want to have to bring somebody uptown. They brought the judge to the stadium. They called it Eagles Court.
That's
right?
awesome.
And I've seen some stuff. But anyway, but to my point, right? Even in the city of Philadelphia, for that moment, when you've got two sides that want to go after each other, for that moment, you put that crap aside and you say, you know what, we're all Americans.
Those two guys who would fight at that game in Philadelphia,
And they beat each up later.
No, they'll fight each other. But if you went up and said something like, if you went to guy A and said, "Do you like America?" He'd be like, "Of course." Guy B, "Do you like America?" "Of course." We're
Right.
fighting over him spilling my beer.
Right, exactly.
Now you go into these. Well, I don't know how much the fans actually care about this stuff, but now you'll actually have with the Olympics, for instance, in the soccer and the kneeling and everything, you'll have some people being like, "America is evil and racist." The other person will be like, "I like America." They don't even.
I think it was it Daily Caller or Campus Reform. They went to Georgetown and they were asking about this. They were asking about the Olympic team, and they went around interviewing students, like man on the street interviews, and they couldn't find. Now, of course, there's editing and selection bias, etc. But they went through student after student, and they couldn't. Every single one was getting up there saying, I just don't know how I can root for this team. I can root for individual, I can root for Simone Biles. I can root for, various different athletes that are in this. But for the United States, no, I couldn't. And if you notice, that's how they marketed the Olympic team this year.
And what annoys me about that is that then those athletes, though,
Megan Rapinoe,
they flew over on American tax dollars,
Yes.
right? Like their team was funded by the taxpayers. So they will take all of the good that comes with it. But then for just that, you don't have to say, Megan Rapinoe, you love America. But for that one moment, as a courtesy to all of us who pay our damn taxes and allow this to happen for you, shut your damn pie hole. And she couldn't do that because that moment is not our moment. It's still my moment. Imagine if when Megan Rapinoe kicked a goal, all the fans were like, you know what, you don't get to celebrate. We're going to do this. And she'd be like, wait a second, this is my moment, right? Imagine if you scored a touchdown and the fans were like, you don't get to celebrate that. We all need to take a knee and protest what's happening in Bangladesh. The wide receiver would be like, what the hell? I just scored a touchdown. This is my moment. No, it's not. Megan Rapinoe, if you want to show your true protest moment, every time you scored a goal, you should have taken a knee there. But when she scored a goal, she wanted friggin' applause.
That's about her.
She wanted to be congratulated.
Tamyra
that was
Mensah
our
Stock.
moment.
Let me say one name. Tamyra Mensah Stock.
Amazing.
Who's that?
Why has she been disappeared from the entire narrative, the entire conversation? Right? I say the name, people are like, Tamyra Mensah Stock.
I don't know who Tamyra Mensah Stock is. I'm sorry.
Why isn't that name on everybody's front of mind? Why isn't that front of mind? Why isn't she
defied the narrative?
Because she defied the narrative, and it was some guy on Twitter who went and found her speech afterwards. And she was the wrestler. She was the wrestler, and she won the gold. And they went to her, and she had the flag draped over her shoulders. And when they asked her, they said, "How do you feel about that flag?" And she said, "I love the United States of America. I love living there. I love representing this country. It's the most happiest moment of my entire life just to be here." And you could see the patriotism. They wrote her out of it completely.
Was it Forrest who said that, it might have been Forrest, maybe it was you, that we're actually in this country having a debate as to whether this country should even exist?
As far as, yeah, last week,
That's literally where we are right now as a country.
Right, and so, and just to like kind of encapsulate all of this that we're talking about, from January 6th to the decline of nationalism and patriotism, this is all for show, by the way, right? What's going on an economic level in this country is far beyond anything that we've seen before. The divergence of when you talk about class, when you talk about a new aristocracy, all of that's going on behind the scenes. And yet they throw all these things at you in the foreground to make you forget about it. But when you go back and you actually look at things that have happened in just the past 10 years, or, we're talking about the fall of Kabul, the end of Afghanistan, right? if you could start with 9/11 and then just go through everything that's happened in the past 20 years, and then, you combine that with the rest of the 20th century, right? And I know you guys were talking about that last night, that you really realize there's been a whole lot that's going on that actually matters, that we are being distracted about, that we are being told, oh, they want you fighting, amongst yourselves over the different national anthems, because they know what they're doing behind the scenes. They are robbing you blind. They are putting you they are putting you into perpetual poverty. They want you to be perpetual consumers and serfs and everything else,
and that's why
where it comes.
The abandoning thousands of Americans in Kabul is unsurprising. As tragic as it is, it's totally unsurprising, because American government has abandoned its people for, like you said, 20 years.
They look at them as deplorable.
We abandoned people in Toledo, and we sent all of their jobs to China and Mexico. And we give them fentanyl, by the way. We've abandoned people in rural America. The American
West
government
Virginia,
has
Western
abandoned.
Maryland,
We talk
throughout
about
Appalachia.
the divides of the rich and the poor and the haves and the have-nots. And who's making that? Capitalism? No, it's government policy, right? We've abandoned people to live in the inner cities, and look at what we've done with them. We've given them the worst, literally the worst education in the developed world.
And
we leave them
I know
there.
you want to get
and
there.
you want to talk about maybe a rough or a corrupt police force. We've given them that. We've given them crime, and we've given them no education and opportunity to escape. In rural America, we've given them as lousy schools with no jobs and no opportunities and tons of fentanyl. If fentanyl crossed the border and it was killing rich white liberal girls in Manhattan, it would have been stopped like that.
And Daniel,
but it's killing poor rednecks, and no one gives a damn
but
about
not just
them.
rednecks.
So we're
you
abandoning
showed me in Alaska.
So my point is, we abandoned people in Afghanistan. American government has abandoned its people for years now.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.